After more than a decade of war, shifting alliances, and frozen diplomacy, a surprising thaw appears to be underway in Syria. In a dramatic shift signaling the potential dawn of a post-conflict phase, France, the United States, and Syria have jointly recommitted to a revamped political framework aimed at restoring stability and sovereignty. The meeting, which took place discreetly in Paris, represented the first time in years that all three parties issued a unified declaration. This time not as a symbolic gesture, but as a concrete step toward reactivating the stalled UN-led Geneva peace process. Analysts from Monde and The Guardian noted that this renewed cooperation, while fragile, indicates a recalibration in the West's approach to Syria's internal political architecture, and perhaps a tacit acknowledgment of President Bashar al-Assad's de facto position within the region's geopolitical calculus. The Paris negotiations, hosted by French Foreign Minister Jean Noël Barrot and attended by Syrian Foreign Minister Assad al-Shaibani and U.S. Special Envoy Tom Barak, culminated in an agreement that underscored the necessity of conflict de-escalation in hot zones, such as Idlib and Hasaka. A Reuters report confirmed that Washington has begun adopting a more pragmatic stance, tying future collaboration to institutional reforms and verifiable benchmarks. Meanwhile, Paris has expressed readiness to facilitate dialogue between Damascus and the Syrian Democratic Forces, SDF, aiming to ease tensions in the north and advance localized governance models. The parties also emphasized counterterrorism coordination, citing ongoing threats from ISIS factions in the Syrian periphery. The New York Times quoted a senior U.S. official as saying that the strategic vacuum left unaddressed in northeastern Syria could reignite extremist insurgency if a cohesive policy is not enforced. Among the more nuanced outcomes was an agreement to empower local reconciliation bodies, particularly in areas like Soweto, where tribal and civil society-led peace initiatives are beginning to show promise. France reportedly offered diplomatic support and possible hosting for future roundtables aimed at implementing the underreported March 10th framework, which calls for regional autonomy, amnesty arrangements, and inclusion of non-state actors in the political mainstream. The trilateral statement also mentioned Syria's obligation to uphold non-aggression towards neighbors, a clause interpreted by Al Jazeera as a diplomatic message to Israel and Turkey, whose occasional air and ground operations have kept tensions on edge, with references to recent UN reports on human rights violations and war crimes. The communiqué further committed to establishing accountability mechanisms